Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, so can you hear me now?
yeah. I
Okay,
can hear you. I hope you can hear me also.
I can hear you.
Okay. So, uh, just a second. Let me connect my iPad.
Good morning, Devash.
Good morning, Manav. How are you?
Good, Devash. How are you?
So,
You sent the yearbooks up, or is it still pending?
didn't end up.
Hmm.
Wrote that accident happened now after that, and then I just lost. I just kept procrastinating after that.
Hmm.
Hi.
Drive safe, Devash. Drive safe.
Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
sir.
Hi. Shall we start now?
Yes,
So far we have seen the multi-derivative function, right? And its continuity, the continuity of the surface. Okay. And we have done some limit question. I think Deva also tried to do some different question from the past papers. Maybe he got good link. Thanks. I received a lot of paper from there. So I had different
hmm.
calculus, like from Chicago. It's different code. It's something like math. The codes are different everywhere, but the objective are
Hmm.
same. Like that is called, you know, math 132, 132, and Deva
Oh,
have 114. And what's your mano? Is it same or different one?
114. Math
Yeah,
114.
31A.
yeah,
31A, 31B,
yeah.
32,
So
32C.
yeah, so they are different code, but the objective or the content are same. Okay. So we'll be
Correct. Yeah.
talking about. Sorry, we'll be talking about differential today. And yeah, before that, I would like to go into the demo class where we talked about the partial derivative, right? Partial derivative with respect to x, partial derivative with respect to y, and why we required partial derivative. That also we understood in that class, right? Am I right?
Hmm.
Did you must have understood, right?
Yeah.
Why we do partial derivative?
Yeah.
Any reason why we do partial derivative, Manu?
Uh, so basically, it is used when we have multivariable function,
Hmm.
and it is the derivative where uh, one we want to find, since we have multiple variables, we want to find the differential only with respect to one, while the others are constant.
Why we are doing so?
What is the hint?
Basically,
What reason I
like
mentioned?
Basically,
infinite
you want to see
function.
the effect of that variable.
Sorry,
If you want to see the effect of that variable,
didn't
Should
hear.
I say so?
Just a second there. Didn't hear, Mano. What was your last term? What did you say?
so you are asking why we want to do that.
Yeah, why we are doing partial derivative?
So basically, partial derivative, it takes care of, like it nullifies the other two.
Yeah, that's
It
fine. That's
disregards
fine.
the other two we made.
Yeah, that's fine. We keep one
So
variable
that helps us
constant.
find the effect of that helps us find the effect of one variable, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right as far as the process is concerned, because we keep one variable constant, one independent variable constant, and we differentiate the function with respect to other variable. That's absolutely right. But why we are doing that? What is the requirement of doing that? That's my question. I have explained that in demo class. Why we are doing that?
Yeah.
Do you remember the ball? You can say Deva. You can say.
Ball.
Because at a point there are
Okay, so there are infinite points,
engines,
so it helps us get
infinite
one.
engines at a
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So we want to create a limitation, so we just get one. So taking the other as a constant is like equal to taking it along just one axis, and there are
Yes.
other ways also you can limit it by taking it along a vector or something like that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that's why we do it.
Yeah, I know that Mano also know this thing, but he could not reply properly. I think he explained the process of doing that, but I certainly know that he knows this. Am I right, Mano?
Yeah.
So this was the first. So we will continue from this. We have done with higher derivative, right? We are done with higher derivative. We started with, if you want to recap the demo class, we started with multivariable function. Now the definition is very much clear. You will not afraid of seeing. Uh, can you see that? Can you see the screen properly?
So it's blurred. It's
Blurred, no?
blurred a
Blurred,
bit.
no?
I don't.
Yeah, because it's blurred here also. Just let it settle down. The network is pathetic everywhere nowadays.
Mm.
Is it fine now? Is it visible properly? So
Better,
yeah,
much better.
yeah. So this is the partial derivative we have been doing, and we have practiced a lot of question based on this, right? Holding one of the variable constant and finding the derivative with respect to other variable. Then we came to know about the higher derivative, where we found the mixed derivative, which is with respect to x, then with respect to y, then with respect to z maybe. Then in that case, the mixed derivative is always equal, okay, of the given function, whatever the order is. Order doesn't matter. The mixed derivative is always equal. So continue from that topic, we'll extend the topic to differential, okay, because we are going to use the partial derivative concept over there in differential. Before that, I would like to have one question on partial derivative, which is the implicit function, maybe kind of. So if suppose this is the function xyz is equal to x square yq minus y square zq, what you have to do, you have to find f of xyz, f of yzx, f of zyx, f of xyx. Okay, just do it quickly.
Okay. Yeah, so done.
Done? Okay. So what did you observe?
Yeah.
Did you observe anything?
Yeah. Uh,
XYZ.
I observed. I observed that the second and the third one.
Hmm.
Oh, I missed doing one. Oh, I
Yeah,
missed doing. So
yeah,
let me do that
yeah.
one.
Check
Just
that.
for me.
Sir, I forgot the meaning of this notation.
Are you sure? See, this
Ah, so,
FXYZ is
so I got it
basically.
now.
Hmm, okay. See, FXYZ is basically we are differentiating the function with respect to x first. Okay. Okay. Let me solve one for Mano. So we'll differentiate this the given function with respect to x first, keeping y and z constant. Are you getting that? That is the meaning of partial derivative.
Yeah.
Okay. So keeping y and z constant, we'll differentiate the function with respect to x. So just keep in mind that x is variable now. So
Hmm.
x is variable means 2xy cube, right? We are going to differentiate this with respect to x, and the next term is constant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now we'll
The y cube is
differentiate.
constant, so
Yeah,
2x y cube. Yeah.
yeah,
Then
and
f y z x means with respect to
y.
f x. So,
Now we'll differentiate this term, the this last term, with respect to y. So that would be how much? 3 to the
x is constant. X is constant. We do 3y square, right? So it'll be
so
6xy square.
6xy square, right? And then
6xy square. Yeah.
we again differentiate this with respect to z. And since z is the variable, x and
Zero.
y, yeah, constant, so it will be just 0. Okay. Similarly, you will find
So
for.
for
Hmm, did you get that, Dev? Did you?
Got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I got the first three are equal to zero, and the last one is equal to 6y square.
Yes. So just try one more, Mano. You just uh, try this
Yeah.
sequence.
I'll try
Y
the last
is
one. Yeah, yeah. I'll try the last one. So f of fx, the last one it becomes first step becomes same step 2xy cube,
hmm,
correct? Then
yeah. Dev, you can do this.
fx y again.
Dev, you can do this.
What?
Yeah.
Acha.
Fxy, so it becomes 6xy
So
squared. I get the x again. So it becomes 6y squared, right?
Uh,
The last one, xyx.
X. Okay, you are doing x y x. Okay. So for x y x, we have with respect to x we already have, right? So with respect to y now, that also we
Yeah,
have
with
already.
respect to xy also we have.
That
yeah,
also we have.
So
So x
6xy
y
so they
squared
all
second
the
last,
last
and
three
then
equal to
12y. Is it 12y with respect to x? We are finding
which one?
fxyx.
Will be it'll be 6y, right? We already have 6xy squared.
Yes,
No,
So we
sir.
can
It's
6x, right?
it's, it's 6y squared. No.
6y square.
6y squared, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the next two are 6y squared, both of them.
Yes. So both are 6y square. If you calculate that, both will be 6y square.
Yeah.
So all mixed derivative is always equal, whatever the sequences. That doesn't matter. Okay,
Yeah, now I got it. Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Good. So now let's move to
Yeah.
the one more question on this. I want Mano to be more comfortable in this. So the question
Yeah.
is h of x comma y is equal to tan inverse y by x. Okay, so what you have to calculate? You have to calculate hx x, hxy, hyy, hyx. Okay, do it quickly. Done, Dev?
No, Samrat.
1 over a in the regular formula in the identity it is 1 over a, right? For a over x. 1 over a, 1 over 1 plus x squared. The derivative.
Derivative of 1 over x. What are you saying?
Tan inverse tan inverse x. I'm talking about the derivative of tan inverse.
Oh.
One
Tan
over a
inverse 1 over
1 over
1
a
plus
into
x,
1
like this.
x squared. Tan inverse x. I'm saying tan inverse
I've written
ax. Tan inverse ax is what I'm asking.
tan inverse ax, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So this, okay.
I'm saying, is it 1 over a or is it just a?
No, no. The formula would be 1 over ax the whole square. And then what we'll do, we'll divide this, no, we'll multiply this by a over.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Chain rule.
Oh, yeah.
I'll write answer here. Hx. I'll write all the answer. Hx is
Hx is 1 over 1 plus y upon x squared into y.
I've written the answer. You just cross check that. You might have to simplify.
Hmm.
So the differentiation of tan inverse y by x,
Yeah,
don't you have to then use the chain rule
yeah. We have to use
and
chain rule.
then do it for uh,
You're not getting answer. Which one you're trying?
no,
HXX.
so I think I'm a little unsure. No, no, I'm a little unsure about the tan inverse rule only. Like,
Tan
can
inverse
you
rule.
write that formula or the
Yeah, yeah, sure. See,
differentiation
yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah, I'm writing it in very precise manner. If suppose you have to find out derivative of tan inverse f of x, okay, what the chain rule
yeah,
is basically the inside function is also a function on x, right? It is also dependent on x.
yeah.
So that is the chain rule basically. So 1 over 1 plus f of x. Okay, this is the usual rule what we have to follow, but since the inside function itself a function on x, so that would be into f dash x.
So, right, 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 right.
So when in the denominator, when we get y over x
Yeah.
squared, is it only for, do we apply the square only to the x part or to the whole fraction?
Which one you are trying first? Let me know that.
We get, we get, I'm saying the first part,
Yeah.
hx only,
Hmm.
we get 1 over 1
Hmm.
plus y
Hmm.
over x squared. Is it y over x, is that right, or is it y square over x squared?
Y square over
Or
x
is it
square.
y over x?
Y square over x square. You have to just understand what function is given there.
Hmm.
You just see what I have written here. I have written
So,
f of x the whole square. I'm not figuring out what is f of x is.
whole square. Hmm.
Just apply the rule properly what you know. Okay,
So
don't don't
what
refer
about
the
the
answer.
y part?
Y part, yeah.
So what
So
about the y part?
with,
So we get
with
1
respect to
over
y.
1 plus y square over x squared into
Hmm.
minus 1 over x squared into,
Hmm.
for that y, for the
Hmm.
y outside the fraction, technically we have to do, otherwise we would have done chain rule, right? That would become
Yes.
dy by dx.
Yeah. Dy by, derivative of y by x. If you are saying this, I think derivative of h with respect to y. If you are asking this, then that would be 1 over 1 plus same rule, because this is implicit function, y itself a variable here. So 1 plus y upon x the whole
Hmm.
square into derivative of y over x, whatever
One by
there is. So that is 1 over x, because 1 over x is a
one
constant,
by.
into derivative y is 1 with respect to y.
And this same thing likewise applies for hx also, right?
Yes, yes.
In that case, we don't consider y. Yeah.
No, we consider y. Let me find out hx also.
Wow. It should be the same as this with x, right? Why is
Yeah,
it different? It should be same as this.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have to consider that the whole term, whatever the derivative is, that's secondary. So h of x is y
Hmm.
over x the whole square into derivative of y over x, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that derivative y over x is basically minus y over x square, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
because derivative 1 over
Yeah.
x minus 1 over x square.
Yeah. But that, yeah. I got that, but that y into y, that last into y will remain y. Won't do. That was what I was. Yeah.
Okay, that is constant in that
Yeah.
context.
That is,
Yeah, so I've got these answers only.
All of this. Okay. So I have not written for h of yx.
yeah.
Can you help me? What would be the last, like this, the answer of this h of yx?
Yeah. So that would be won't it be the mixed thing, sir? It'll be equal to the HXY.
Yes. So
Yeah,
that's why I have not written that, because the answer is going to be
yeah,
same as of h of xy.
yeah.
What about Manu? Have you done all? Okay, and they've tried to observe one more thing in this. That's important. You will definitely observe one more thing.
Well,
Uh, yeah, even the HXX and HYY are equal in this case.
They are not equal.
Right?
Their magnitude are equal, but one is plus, one other is negative.
Ha. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It means if you add them,
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
what will you get if you add them? H
yeah.
x h x x plus h y
So
y
you
is
get
equal.
zero.
So yeah, are you with us, Manu? Have you done?
yeah.
Or should we wait for 1 2 minutes?
One, just one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So when we do the last part,
Yeah.
for either one of them, for hx hxy or for hyx.
Hmm.
For example, for hy, we get minus y over x squared plus y squared. That is just hy. So when we want to do hyx, the last we want to do that x part.
Hmm.
So we just make that x squared to x, right, in the denominator. That's it.
Yeah. You are saying this, taking example of the above. Actually, you are saying with respect to x, and then now differentiate this with respect to y, right? So
No, even for hy, let's take hy for
okay,
the
h y.
one
Okay.
above that.
Okay.
I got that too.
Hmm. Okay. Let's take h y only. H y is basically what we have to do here. Y is variable. Now we'll take x as a variable. We are going to differentiate that with respect to x. So now x is variable, right? So let's try to first simplify this. Okay. So
Yeah,
x is variable.
yeah,
X is variable. Okay. So what I'll do, this will become x over. I think if you do it properly, if you simplify this, I think you will get x over
yeah,
x square plus y square. Is that correct?
yeah.
I'm doing that, I don't have space. So see, when you take LCM, you x square plus y square, x square will goes up, and then one x will cancel out from the denominator, right? So x
Yeah.
over x square plus y square. Now since x is variable here, we are finding this. So with respect to x, it means x is variable. So a variable present in numerator and denominator both, right? So we have to apply quotient rule, right? So that would be
Oh,
x square plus y square this, and then what we do, x square plus y
Yeah.
square, derivative
V
of x, that
dash,
is what?
yeah,
Minus
x is 1
hmm,
plus u v dash 2x
hmm,
plus y square is constant. We just
0.
leave it that way.
Yeah.
Correct. So we get x, 2x plus y. Yeah, 2x, just 2x.
So when you simplify
Hmm.
this, x square plus y square minus 2x square. So x square minus 2x square is minus x square. So y square minus x square
Hmm.
upon x square plus y square, the whole square. That is what we got as an answer here. Okay. So yeah,
Yep.
both will have the same answer. So h of yx is same as h of xy. Okay. So this
Yeah,
now
got it.
you will observe one more thing, Mano, here. That is this
Hmm.
h of xx plus hyy, both have same
Hmm.
magnitude, but their sign are opposite. So if you add them, you will get 0, right? Did you observe that?
Yeah,
Okay. So this is
yeah,
very special. This is very special as you guys are doing engineering. So you will observe this type of equation in physics or any other branch of your engineering curriculum. So this type of equation is called what h of x y is called Laplace equation, because when you get this, the second order partial derivative like hx plus hyy is equal to 0, that means the equation, the function is Laplace equation, and it has some uses in your you know in your engineering to figure for electricals, magnetic and gravitational potential, state, steady state temperature and hydrodynamics. A lot of things are there that I have written down, but these are the application where you can use, you will find this equation in those area. Okay, I don't know much about that, but that I know that Laplace is going to be used in those areas. Okay, so at least you will get some idea from mathematics how these words came from and why Laplace is, why this is called Laplace equation. So as a mathematics teacher, I have to explain you why this is called Laplace equation, because h of xx plus hyy is equal to 0. Okay, and the application part you will definitely learn from the other subject. Okay, cool. Now we have to start the new topic today, that is differential. I've already marked, I already written it down there. That is differential. So for that, uh, I would like to ask you one thing. What is increment and what is differential? Right. We have been doing differentiation of y with respect to x. Right. What we find out basically when we talk about derivative of y or differentiation of y with respect to x, so what we basically talk about?
Look,
Slope, or if you want to investigate it more, that is basically change in y with respect to x, right?
yeah,
Change in y when there is a slight change in x. So if I try to graph,
right,
so suppose this is your y, means function. Now I'm talking uh, for one independent variable because we are more comfortable in that first, and then I'll switch the topic to multi variable function. Okay, does that make sense? Because if we understand this
yeah,
way properly, then it is very easy to understand for multi-variable function. Okay, so first understand what this means in detail, because we have been discussing about dy by dx for a long time, and this dy by dx is nothing but the gradient or slope, as they were said instantly, right? But what is dy by dx is exactly, dy by dx is change in y with respect to change in x. Okay, how the curve changes means y is basically the height. Are you getting that? Y is basically the height, right? If I just a second. If I draw this axis, you will understand that y is basically height. So let me take 2 points on this curve. One is p, one is p, and other is q. We always take like this, p and q. Okay, so now our job is to find out gradient of this curve at p. So the gradient or the derivative function, the derivative is nothing but the gradient of the tangent at p, right? Gradient of the tangent at p. That is what the derivative mean, right? So we'll try to investigate that today. So this is the tangent line, that what I have drawn here. That is the tangent line. Okay. Now do you agree with that? Like the change in function, like change in function with respect to x is same as the tangent line. Do you agree with that? See, the change in function from
At,
p to
at
q.
that point, right?
Yeah. So basically, see, you have to understand one thing. See, P and Q are very close, basically. P and Q are very close. So
Hmm.
my point is what we are figuring out here is basically what is dy and what is delta y. Okay. What is delta y?
uh, the change, like the net change, right? In y
Total
from one
change.
point to
Delta
the
y is just the y coordinate of q minus the y coordinate of p.
yeah.
So
And
that is
basically, when p and q are the difference between them is very small, dy minus delta y approaches zero because the difference is very small because they're very close by points.
so that definition is sink our in our blood basically. I know that you cannot divide it.
Because they're very close by.
I yeah
It's the
yeah
same reason why a curve becomes straight up
yeah.
between two points.
Yeah, I know I will fail if I try to deviate you from this definition, delta y and dy. I know that because it is very much sink into your head. So, but my point is, where is dy basically? Where is dy? We
dy
talk about
is like
delta y.
a
We,
really small,
where I can show dy?
yeah.
That is my question. Because I know delta y, you can easily figure out what is delta y, the change in height of the function, right? So if I just draw this, you will definitely tell me what is delta y. I know that because that is change in height of the function, right? So what is delta y?
Hmm.
Delta y is simply this because that is change in height, right? But what is dy? That is my
Yeah.
question. What is dy? Where I can represent dy? So now understand this way because you have to understand in that term, like if suppose we are having 2 points, we will always have 2 points because we know that delta x is not going to be zero, right? We have talked about this. When limit delta x tends to zero, delta y upon delta x is equal to dy by dx. We have already talked about this, right? We know that delta x can't be zero, means we will always have 2 points. Am I right? We will always have 2 points, two distinct points. We cannot pull q to q over p directly, right? We cannot pull that point q to p directly. See, p is here, p is x, and if you extend this to, so this is x plus delta x, right? X plus delta x. So the thing is, if you if you're talking about derivative, means dy by dx, if you're talking about this, right? So we are basically finding the derivative of the tangent line. That is not the exact change in the curve. Am I right? Are you getting that?
Right.
Because the tangent line has different height. It is, at this point, at x plus delta x, the tangent line is here. Okay. So this much is the height from the initial point, from P to the tangent line. That much is the height basically. That much the change is providing by the derivative. Are you getting that? That much change is provided by the derivative. But actually, what is the change? The change is basically delta y. Are you getting that? This much is the change, but the derivative function is giving you this much only. Are you getting that? This much is the actual change,
Yeah, yeah.
but the derivative function is giving you this much, right? Hmm?
Hmm.
So if you are this is
Hmm.
Yeah.
the slope of tangent line that we know that. So you can simply say that what is the rise of the tangent line? So that is dy basically. So this the length, the rise of the tangent line from the initial point is dy. Are you getting that?
Hmm.
Right? See this whole
Yeah. Yeah.
scenario is basically this P and Q are not far from each other. It is very much near to each other, right? So if you go along the curve, if you reduce the distance between P and Q, so obviously you can see that delta y and dy are very much close. Are you getting that?
Hmm.
First you draw that. Draw then I'll tell.
Yeah.
Be sure that I have marked delta y as this, the complete length. Huh? Otherwise I have written differently. So it doesn't mean that the upper distance is delta y and the lower is dy. It doesn't like that. The whole is delta y, the smaller is dy. So from there this dy came from. Are you getting that? See the change in x
Hmm.
done. Have you written this down?
Yeah.
Okay. So see the change in from P to this point from the from P to the point on the tangent line. Are you getting that? Did you understand that? Let me mark that point as
Yeah.
A. A. So from P to A, what is the change in x? From P to A, what is the change in x?
Uh, uh,
Delta,
delta X.
delta X.
Delta
Yeah.
x. From P to Q, from P along the curve, from P to Q, what is the change in x?
Same.
Same.
Same. So it means del x is same as dx, right? That we can say. Del x is same as dx. But what about del y and dy? Are they same?
No.
They are not same. Even see, we basically what we say dy by dx is what we say dy by dx is slope of the curve at that point. We don't say slope of the tangent line normally, right? What dy by dx represent? Dy by dx represent the slope of the curve, right? Slope of the curve. Slope of the curve means rise upon run. So rise is delta y, run is delta x. Are you getting that? So delta y upon delta x is supposed to be slope of the curve. But what there is an error. What I'm trying to explain you, there is an error in calculating derivative of the curve, right? Change in the function basically. The rise in the function. There is an error. What I'm explaining here. Are you getting that? And that error is very
Yeah.
near to zero because if you reduce the size, see we are starting with this size. If you are going along the curve and towards P, the change is going to be small and smaller. Okay, so that change is going to be smaller. So if you reduce the size, so that's the definition came from. If you make delta x tends to 0, delta x tends to 0, then that is the derivative of the function. And the dy is basically that I have explained you where the dy lie, right? So dy is basically the rise of the tangent line. So what we basically represent, m is equal to, so this delta y is not equal to dy, right? delta y is approximately equal to dy. So that's why in derivative you always find the approximation of the rise of the change of the function. Are you with me? See, in derivative application of derivative, we
Yeah.
have studied application of derivative long before, where we always find the approximate the thing approximate. They don't ever ask you find the exact value. They always try to ask you what is the approximate change in the function, what is the approximate change in the height of the function. Am I right? So delta y
Yeah.
is same as dy, but there is a difference. Delta y is approximately equal to dy. So what we do basically, m is equal to, you know, rise upon run, hmm, and we know m is dy by dx. hmm, No, slope is derivative. Slope is f dash x of the function. And what is run? Run is same everywhere, which is dx. hmm. Let me write one by one.
Yeah.
So del x, del y, right? Is it fine? Del y upon del x equal to del y upon del x. Now we know that del x is same everywhere. So f dash x is equal to dx, right? And then again you can replace the delta y. Now since you are replacing delta y by dy, so you have to change this sign because this is going to be approximate value of delta y. So this is the differential dy. Okay, so what would be dy? So dy is approximately equal to f dash x dx. Okay, now you will understood this why we have been doing this. Okay, so when we talk about multi variable function, okay, then you will certainly understand this why we have been doing this. So basically why we required this explanation. So if you understand this diagram properly, because in multi-variable function we are we will be having function the surface will be having the surface. Okay, the surface you can understand, like in the last lecture I told you, always try to understand the mat, you know, mat, right?
Yeah.
So that would be the surface. Okay, because we cannot assume broom. So let's, okay, so for surface, so for surface means the multi-variable function, multi-variable function. Okay. So instead of tangent line, what would have for the surface? Instead of tangent line, what would have the surface? Are you getting what I'm talking about?
Could you
Instead of,
So can you repeat?
yeah,
repeat? Your voice is cutting.
cutting. Okay. What I'm asking, instead of tangent
Hello.
line, yeah, can you hear? Hello, am I audible?
You now. I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So instead of tangent line, like in the one independent variable, if I'm talking about one variable function, it means one independent variable I'm talking, or 2D you can directly understand. So instead of tangent line in 2D, what we'll have in multi-variable function or two independent variable function. So suppose this is the function,
A
this is the
plane.
plane, yeah, definitely. So it would be a plane, right? Suppose this is the surface, okay, this is the surface, and one point is here, one point is here on this, right? So instead of tangent line we would have plane. Is it visible?
Yeah.
We will have a plane.
Yeah.
Is it okay, Mano?
Yeah.
Okay. So we will have a plane. So let me draw the diagram first, then we talk about it. Side by side, you also draw. Perpendicular line. I'm not sure about the tangent plane is visible properly or not, but you have to imagine that. Is it visible properly? I don't think. Uh,
So I didn't get what the blue thing is supposed to do.
What? What did you ask?
I didn't get what the blue drawing part is. Like,
The tangent plane.
Tangent plane
so
is
what
it
point?
at
So
P.
what
At
On
P.
at okay.
It is not
Okay.
visible, na? Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we just imagine the thing. Okay, or you can have something in your hand to imagine. Okay, like this, and a plane like this. Okay, so that you can imagine that the tangent plane is drawn on a point on the surface. Okay, so see, the point P is x comma y. Okay, the point P is x comma y. You have to recall the what we have discussed so far. Point Q is x plus delta x comma y plus delta y. See, there are two independent variable. Instead of like one independent variable in 2D, we have two independent variable here. So obviously the change in height is dependent on two variable. Am I clear? The change in height of the function or
Yeah.
change in height of the surface is dependent on two variable, which is x and y, right? So z is dependent variable, x and y are independent variable. So obviously there is a change in x, there is change in y. Okay, the tangent plane is at P. Do you understand? We'll discuss this orally first, and then we'll the the formula part of it. Okay, so like in tangent line, the differential was dx, right? You can recall that the differential was dy. Sorry, not dx. The differential was dy, and the formula was dy is equal to f dash x into dx. Am I right? Dy is equal to f dash
Hmm.
x into dx, right? So now, what would be the differential here? See, first of all, we have to travel along. How to approach q from p? How would we approach q from p? Is basically first we have to travel along del y like this, okay, and then del x, or either way. Okay, it is not written. I have written here something. The screen is frozen. Okay, just a second. Yeah, visible. So we have to approach q from p, right? So there would be some height. Are you getting that? So um, just a second. Let me.
Yeah, with that way. Right?
I've asked for my the volleyball. There we would explain properly. अरे लो, जल्दी लो. Go. Go, go. Come here. So this is the football, right? And the tangent plane is, see, did you remember this point? Do you remember this?
Mm.
My children has make more clear these points by inserting something. I don't know. So so this is the tangent plane, right? So let me
Mm.
see. This is the diagram. No, this is the diagram. Okay. So see, the surface is here.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now this is the tangent plane, right? Understand properly. This is the tangent plane. This tangent is not along the curve. This is not along the surface. And what we are finding basically, we are finding change in height of the function, or change in height of the curve. Are you getting that? The
Yeah.
same thing what we discussed, right? So from, if we have 2 points on this, if we have 2 points on this, right? If we have 2 points, so that tangent, if you draw the line, so you must have observed the scenario. Now you have to recall that scenario always. So if you have 2 points, like in this we have 2 points on the surface, which is P and Q. So what would be the differential we are talking about? That is my point basically, that why we are putting so much time in this is basically, where is my dz, where is my dz? So see, if I draw this is a tangent plane, so it is very difficult to draw. That's why I'm ignoring that. So see, this is the height. So this is the complete height. So or you can say the complete change in the function. So this is del g, right? Are you getting that? This is del g. Now you have to imagine something. You have to imagine the surface. So this is del g, and the tangent plane is somewhere here. So this distance is dg. Am I clear? Am I clear here? This distance is dg because tangent is
Hmm.
here somewhere, and the actual rise in the curve is basically del g. Del g. Okay? Del g. And
Okay.
the differential is dg. So there must be some difference that we have already understood in one dimensional in one independent variable, right? So it is very easy to understand here in terms of surface, right? So now make some point here so that we'll conclude this topic. I don't want to extend this much, but I hope you understood this. So how would I approach q? That is my point. How would I approach q? By taking del y and del x. So basically we'll start from p. Okay, we will start from p. Okay, and I'll go along x-axis. I'll go along x-axis keeping y constant. From there the partial derivative came from. Do you remember that? So I'll keep y constant. I'll go along x-axis. So if I start from p, I'll go like this. Okay, so what is del x? My point is, what is del x? See, this is del zx. Are you getting that? This is del zx. What is dgx? What is dgx? Dgx is something somewhere here. Dgx. Is it visible? I will enlarge it. I will enlarge it.
Uh,
Are you getting that? So I'm going, that the path is basically along x-axis. You understand this? You understand that first. The path is
yeah.
along x-axis, keeping y constant, and then from that point, from this point, I'll reach up to point Q, which is along y-axis, keeping x constant. Okay, keeping x constant. This is the tangent line, obviously. So the height is. Uh, This is delta zy, the complete height, and this is dzy. Is it clear? Hmm?
Hmm.
Now you have to imagine first. You have to
Yeah.
imagine properly. You don't have to accept this directly. What I'm doing here, if you have some 2 points, you have 2 points on the surface, right? If you have 2 points on the surface, so how would I navigate my path to reach to point Q, right? So the very easy way to go along x-axis and then go along y-axis, right? Hmm? If suppose someone, if we ask someone what is the path to go someplace, if they say like this, okay, some zigzag manner, that's very difficult to understand, right? If suppose he says go left and right, it's very easy, right? So for making this very easy to navigate from P to Q, what we do, we'll go along x-axis, keeping y constant. So it will create some differential with respect to x. Are you getting that? it will create some differential, that is dzx, dzx. Okay, that is along x-axis, and then we'll turn right to reach point Q, and continuously we are rising. Are you getting that? Continuously we are rising. We are not going straight, otherwise we never reach point Q, because Q is above P. We are continuously rising, we are creating slope. There is a continuous elevation, right? So then when we approach some point, let's say B, then from point B to Q, continuously rising along the curve, so that we can reach to point Q, we can reach Q, and it will create again differential dzy. Is it clear?
Yeah, I
Sure.
kind of
Sorry.
I kind of got it. I said like I kind of understood what you're trying to say.
Understood. Okay, cool. What about you, Manu? Are you sure? You can imagine
Yeah,
this diagram
yeah.
again and again, so that it will definitely understood by you guys. It's not that difficult, but okay, but important one. So we are finding dz. This is our objective. We are finding dz, right? That is differential. And what differential is? I hope you understood that. Differential is basically change in height, right? Approximate change in height. We find the approximate change in height. Change in height is basically delta z. We are not able to find that. We are not able to find that. So what we
Mhm.
do, we find dz. Okay, and why these are important, we will be discussing about that. Okay, right now. So first you make some note here. If we are in the x direction, okay, we are we are in we are along, you can write we are along plane parallel to xc plane. Okay, so what would be delta zx? See, in both case, delta zx and delta zy, they are two independent variable. In the previous case, delta z, what was that? Delta x. In the previous case, delta x was same as dx, isn't it? Delta x was same as dx. Here they are two independent variable, right? So delta zx, you know, is dependent on, first of all, you have to understand one thing. Delta x is same as dx, and delta y is same as dy. Am I right?
Hmm.
Because that is the complete change. We are talking about the height of the function. Okay, which is independent variable. Independent variable is exactly what the change is. Okay, so the differential is basically, we are talking about, in differential we are talking about what height of the curve is. What is the change in the height basically, right? We are not talking about for independent variable. We are talking about for the function, and the function represent the surface, right? So delta zx, if I ask you what is delta z, so delta z is basically, what would be delta z? There are two component, one is along x-axis, one is along y-axis. So delta zx plus delta zy, is it clear? The total height, the total
Yeah.
height is basically, we have bifurcated into two direction, right? One is along x-axis, the other is along y-axis. So delta z is the complete rise in the curve, that is delta zx and delta zy. What is delta zx? What is delta zx?
The increase in the height in the x direction.
Yes, so that become one independent variable here. In that case, if you are taking one variable constant, you are keeping y as a constant, then you are converting basically the function based on one independent variable. You are converting the function in one independent variable, right? So what is delta zx? So delta zx is basically what? D zx, am I right? Delta zx is equal to dzx, hmm?
Hmm.
That is same as fx dx.
Yeah.
Okay, that is same as fx dx. So we have been discussing this in the previous the for one independent variable, that was, it is approximate value basically. It is not equal to, it is approximate value, right? Now similarly delta zy is approximately equal to delta zy, and what is the formula? Fy dy. Is that clear? Okay,
Yeah.
you have to recall every time that two-dimensional figure. This was already been proved in 2D. Okay, it become 2D because we are holding one variable constant. Are you getting that? It become 2D
Yeah.
because we are holding one variable constant. It is, the figure is not 2D. Are you understanding that? If I write 2D, you will be confused.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, what is delta z? Delta z is equal to delta zx plus delta zy, right? And this is approximately equal to dzx plus dzy, and this is approximately equal to fx dx plus fy dy. I'm taking all these terms from the this one, from star. And since this is delta del z, now del z can be replaced by dz. So dz is approximately equal to fx dx plus fy dy. So this is what we call as, hmm, approximate change in the height of the curve, or the height of the surface, or the differential. So this is what we are finding. Okay, and why this is important, why we need to find out this, why this is important, because it will give you, see, del z, or dz. Dz is dependent on dx and dy both, right? Now dz is calculated in terms of dx and dy. Okay, so in measurement, like, why this is so important for engineers, because like when we measure anything, there must be some error in that, because whatever equipments you are using, that is also not error free. It has some error, it has some percentage error. We have been talking about percentage error in chemistry or physics. Like you must have done some practical vernier caliper, what I imagine, like vernier caliper, one more, lot of micro, what is that, micrometer,
Micrometer screw gauge.
yeah.
Micrometer
So there are a lot of
screw
things,
gauge.
yeah, yeah. So if you must have talked about the error in that, right? You must have talked about the error,
Yeah, yeah,
because that is also not error free. There is some error in the, even what
yeah,
the scale we have, that is also not error free. Are you getting that? It has some error.
yeah,
So for engineer, you, they have to compensate the error. They have to compensate the error. Are you getting that? Because suppose if engineer is making some building or some bridge, right? And in engineer mind, if suppose he has that some that much load is going to be come on this bridge, right? So that load must be bear
mm,
by the bridge, that load must be bear by the bridge, right? But in case of, while doing that, he has to measure a lot of things, he has to measure a lot of things. So obviously the error will be keep adding in that, obviously the error will be keep adding. So to compensate that error, plus and minus, okay, you always keep, some range, plus and minus. So engineer has to work on the differential. what plus, otherwise what, if you say, if suppose someone asks, sir, why don't we make the bridge super stronger, we don't have to worry about what load is going to be on
Hmm.
this, right? But that will be costlier.
Yeah.
We have to put lot of money for that. The what engineer work, what engineer has to do, he has to optimize the cost also, otherwise the company will throw in, right? Every time every time if suppose he says that let's make super stronger please, okay, we don't worry about the cost, we don't worry about the this measurement, so where the profit will come from, right? So he
Okay.
has to work on this differential, and this margin will give the profit to the company also, right?
Right.
Are you getting this?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So you can write something as an application. Application you can write differential, maybe effectively used in numerical analysis to study the experimental calculation. It provides numerical stability. Okay, so this is the application of it. I hope you understood what is the application of differential, why we are doing that. So we'll solve one problem on this. We have few minutes left.
Yeah.
So if suppose the function is f of x comma y comma z is equal to ln 2x minus y plus e raised to 2xc, okay, we have to find the find out df. So to find out df, what is the formula? Df is the differential, right? Df is the differential
Mm.
of function. So that the formula is fx dx plus fy dy. If suppose we have the function which is, okay, there are three independent variables obviously. So what we'll do, we'll add one more like this. If suppose we have only two independent variable, then the formula will be restricted to two independent variable only, fx dx plus fy dy. Okay. Now we have
Yeah.
to calculate we have to calculate fx, fy, fz. Okay, fx, fy, fz. Now let me know what is fx, what is fy, and fz. I just write down the answer.
It's the same logic, right?
Yeah, yeah, same logic.
Basically, what we did with fx, we just differentiate the x part, right?
Yeah, yeah, with respect to x, keeping y z constant. That's the notation only,
Mm.
partial derivative.
So we raised to 2x there. Okay.
Yeah. I got that.
Got that right.
Mm.
So you substitute that in the function, in the formula to find out df. So simply the terms will be substituted. And if suppose in the question they give you the change in the x, y, z, okay. Suppose x is 2, y is 3, z is 0, and change in x is 0.01. Change in y is minus 0.03. Change in change in z is what, 0.04. We can simply put these values to figure out df. What would be df? Just calculate it for df. dy is minus 0.03.
What are we finding out?
df
Df.
df this one. And formula is written above. So let me
We
write.
just substitute, no?
Yeah, we simply substitute. So let me substitute also. 2 by 2 into 2 minus 3 plus 2, what, 2 point, what is that, g is 0. Okay, so it becomes 0. E, whatever the e.
So the answer,
Yeah,
so the answer is 0.22.
yes,
0.21, sorry.
0.21. Okay, so this is the approximate value. We are simply substituting this, Manav. Okay, if you substitute this value, you will get the
Yeah.
answer. So this will give you 0.21 as the approximate change in the function. Okay, so this is really
So
important.
this,
Yeah,
so this kind of reminds me in paper 3 of IB that Euler's formula thing, right?
this Leibniz
The I
Leibniz theorem.
sorry,
The Euler's is for fixed increment. Euler's is for fixed increment.
Yeah, it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
But like,
more or less same as Euler also, because
right,
there
it's
also
like
we
kind
find the
of
change in
that.
the function. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
method was we take the slight increment and we keep going to approach certain
yeah,
point. So the same thing we are applying here, but there's a direct way, and this is a multivariable function. So obviously we have to
yeah.
think in that way. Okay. Okay, so I hope you understood something from this class. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll
Yes,
talk
sir.
about more about the questions on this in next class, and chain rule also. We'll be starting chain rule. Okay,
Right.
cool. Okay,
Okay,
bye bye.
okay, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.